Hey everyone, we're back with some more FF14. This is going to be starting the Heavens Ward quest chain, so let's hop into it. Miro, I've had the most fascinating news. It would seem that the ruins of ancient Alec have yielded to us a tome containing unknown secrets of the Summoner's art. The tome in question is currently being kept under Rambros' watchful gaze at our dig site in Modona. I'll be heading there shortly myself, but I would not begrudge you an earlier peek. Alright, let's head down to Modona. You tried something today called cotton candy grapes. You assumed it was because the grapes were sweet, but nope, they taste like cotton candy. Cotton candy, it's weird. I have never heard of cotton candy grapes. You've also been up since 4:30 a.m. I actually went to bed at around 2 this morning because I was tired as fuck. I'm still tired as fuck, but I got up to do Pokemon Go Fest because, well, 2 reasons. One, I like to walk around and play Pokemon Go. That's like the only phone game I actually play. And 2, it actually is really good for my recovery from my slipped disc. So, you know, like to hug 2 birds with 1 hand. Ah, I thought you might be along. Here, Miro, a prize such as this should be in your keeping. We uncovered it not terribly far from where we excavated the Evoker's attire. I judged the tome to be some manner of manual for summoning magic, but alas, I was unable to decipher the writings. 'Tis fortunate, then, that such a task falls directly into Eumetra's field of expertise. Speaking of which, would you mind taking the book to her yourself? She sent word that she had been held up by some jury business in Revenant's Toll. Pray do be careful. Alright, Revenant's Toll's not too far, so we'll just fly over there. What have you been up since 4:30 a.m. for? Mira, are you over there being Minnie? Hi, Minnie Cat. What are you giving me that side glance for? Wanna fight? I will fight you. You may be tiny, but I'm sure you're a capable fighter. Hey, Micho, what are you doing over here? Need to clean up dog poop in the house. That's never good. My apologies. A trifling but unavoidable matter preventing me from making directly for the dig site. Now, shall we take a closer look at this Allegan tome? An ancient tome of Allegan origin, recently unearthed near St. Cornelius' Find. Were you thinking about dog poop and that prevented you from sleeping? Or were you thinking about how it might summon Tiamat? Oh my, 'tis rather more shabby than what I've come to expect from the great works of Alec, but let's not be discouraged. The content is what truly matters. A fine observation. Principe, at your service. I am a humble familiar with the doctrine of summoning. Have we awoken a sentient tome from the ancient net library? Miro, we must keep it contained. Have I somehow given offense? Strange, for I am not equipped with offensive capabilities. Imparting the art of summoning is my function, and instruction manual is my form. A manual, you say? Correct. When opened in the presence of summoners, I am bound to awaken and share with them the secrets of summoning. The young mistress there is in possession of an active soul crystal, yes? Twas the soul crystal that awoke you? Correct. Only one who carries a soul crystal and has bathed in the ether of an icon may wield the power of a summoner. I sensed one worthy of instruction and was thus compelled to introduce myself. Icon. So that is the Allegan word for primal. Excuse my need to clarify the obvious, but you are a construct created to teach summoning magics to any potential student you encounter. Then why would the ancients have deemed such a thing necessary? Summoning came into being for the purpose of eliminating beings. Specifically those beings known as icons, primals. Once these entities have all been vanquished, however, new Edgy cannot be harnessed. Old summoners perished, and so too does their art. It was upon glimpsing this bleak future that a certain master summoner set about crafting yours truly. Inscribed with the arts of tremendous power, I exist to teach others how to safeguard their existence. Fascinating. Your creation speaks to the heart of the discipline's rarity, Summoning harnesses the power of primals for the sole purpose of destroying them, and new summoners arise only in an age when primals are rife. With the absence of living mentors, a true succession of the art is never achieved. Principia, are you then to instruct Miro on the lost secrets of Alec? I'm eager to oblige, but there are certain obligations. Ere the seal upon my higher knowledge can be unlocked, the student must first overcome 3 challenges I am ensorcelled to present. Well, considering how it refers to primals as icons, I'm inclined to believe that we have an authentic Allegan relic on our hands. What say you, Miro? Will you undertake these challenges? The first challenge is a test of power. This trial is designed to evaluate the raw magnitude of your arcane talent by putting you against a predetermined opponent of carefully measured fortitude. Also known as, I manifest a monster and you fight it. Mayhap not terribly wise to attempt that in the middle of town. Why don't we find ourselves a less populated area out near the Singing Shards? The book just travels. Also, that book looks a hell of a lot bigger than when she, initially unfurled it. Also, do we have to go to the Singing Shards? That's like way over here. We easily could have done that just like right here. Or just like down there. Or even on this road here. Are you prepared for this test of power? To seem Principia is waiting on your word. Shall we begin the test of power, mistress? Mistress, you treat your pupil as a superior, Principia? Such was the way when I was written. And if my full name begins to fire your tongue, or tire your tongue, you are welcome to call me Prin, or Pia. Oh, I rather like Prin. I mean, let us proceed with the challenge. Well, even on the tongue, huh? Yeah. Man, our spell looks so cool now. A fine showing, mistress. Even the greatest of Alec summoners would be forced to recognize the extent of your extant power. A crushing victory, Miro. Who could have argued the potential of modern summoning after that display? You have bested the first challenge, mistress. There are a few summoners in Alec's long history who boasted this degree of native might. Furthermore, that you have achieved such potency through naught but the study of ancient wisdom is simply astonishing. A little polished here technique, guiding you to loftier heights, should prove astonishingly simple. I thought Miro's technique more than sufficiently polished, but you say there is room for improvement? I see, we shall have to adjust our yalmstick for perfection if we are to rival the practitioners of the past. Indeed, if you would know more of the past practices, then you need only ask. Actually, I do have a question for you, if you would indulge me, Miro. Prin, in which age were you created? You appear to lack the technological advancements that were predominant in the constructs in the latter days of Alec's civilization. Another excellent observation. I was penned by Master Sari, a preeminent, or it might be Sorrel, I can't tell, my monitor might have something over the eye there. But we'll go Sorry for now. A preeminent summoner of his time, he was, in fact, likely the last master summoner of the Allegheny Emperor's reign. Were I to date myself by your culture's notion of history, my creation would have taken place at a point just before the Empire's collapse. In other words, solidly within the richest era of aether-chemical discovery. One might reasonably wonder why this wonderful science was excluded from my invention, and I assure you, there is a reason. In the beginning, the Allegans rose to superiority through their mastery of magecraft. It is told that the very first wielders of summon magic made do with grimoires fashioned of leather and ink and parchment. There came a tipping point, however, when the mundane sciences began to progress with ever-growing rapidity. These advances were married with the arcane, and aether-chemical technology was born. Even as the harnessing of lightning energies gave rise to new recording mediums, techniques were developed that allowed complex arcane geometries to be instantly plotted. Traditional grimoires were replaced by devastatingly efficient and elegant weapons. And the convenience of these tools, however, did not lend themselves to wield the instructions of initiates. Beyond such considerations, the new mediums could not be perused without dedicated machinery, and their manufacture was no simple matter. And so the summoner who breathed life into you decided that tomestones and the like were not ideal method for passing on his accumulated wisdom. Correct. He chose for me the primitive form of a book, and inscribed within my pages a bounty of potential incantations that required no machine to be cast. Thank you, Prin. I thought only to satisfy my academic curiosity, but I found myself swept into your description of the past. You truly are the creation of an incredible age. And thank you for your patience, Mero. Shall we return to Gridania? I think nobody's going to be concerned. He's brought into being by Masturbator? Maybe. Ah. Hey, Dancing Wolf, sir. What are you doing here? Miro, you seem well, I trust. I'm trying to bend the Amitra's ear, but she seems a little distracted. Not that I can blame her. Have you seen this hopping book? I'm fairly sure I caught a flash of teeth in between those pages. Welcome home, mistress. Or should that be welcome back? I'm told this is the base of your research efforts with Lady Amitra, but I'm unsure of the correct salutation. Well done, Miro. We are one step closer to revealing a new secret of ancient Alleg. Prin will issue the next challenge after you've had the chance to review your studies and hone your abilities to a new level of perfection. I've decided to keep the familiar here at my side for the moment. Even with as many wonders as the Eorzea holds, folk tend to panic at the sight of a fanged tome that jumps around on its own accord. Oh, and pay no mind to Captain Wolf. He obviously wishes to secure my services for some task or another. But we have more important matters to attend to. Just ignore this, man. Alright, well, we're already level 63, so we'll do that too. Performing for Prin. Greetings, Mero. 'Twould seem that Prin would speak with us about the second challenge. Congratulations, mistress. You are sufficiently prepared to undertake the next test. Excuse me, Prin, but how can you tell? By analyzing the patterns of Mistress's ethereal emanations, I can gauge the strength and precision of her recently cast incantations. Of course, Mistress must attempt the challenge itself before I can provide an evaluation of the proper degree of accuracy. This will be a test of skill. To administer this trial under the prescribed conditions, however, I must request assistance of several more summoners to play the role of antagonists. Several more summoners? In this day and age, that will be no easy feat to arrange. Come now, Amitra, the solution is right under your nose. Miro, your deeds have caught the attention of the highest echelons of the Flames. After learning what you're capable of, we've begun an initiative to take our own summoners into battle against the Primals. A number of soldiers under my command have already begun intensive training. I handpicked veteran survivors of our expedition against Ifrit, and they've been issued with soul crystals we claimed from the Ascians. And Captain Wolf has been howling in my ear for days, begging to enlist your aid as some kind of drill instructor for the ethereal gifted. But now you are in need of summoners for this trial of yours, yes? I am prepared to offer my regiment's full cooperation. All I ask in return is a few morsels of advice for the acolytes. It seems to me a fair trade, and my enchantments do not restrict me from instructing neophyte summoners in the fundamentals of the art. Very well, I suppose such an arrangement could prove convenient for us all. I knew you'd come around. Meet me at Camp Blue Frog, and I'll assemble the troops for inspection. Alright, we get to go beat up some summoners. you got to say, Principia. As mentioned, the second challenge will be a test of skill. I shall be evaluating your technique for flawless execution and executed laws. We should meet at the Captain and Wolf at the camp. Then we'll find a nice open space somewhere in northern Thailand to conduct the second challenge. I did warn him, however, that you're far too busy to train his soldiers on any kind of permanent basis. Camp Blue Frog. No, that's not Camp Blue Frog. There we go. This is Camp Blue Frog. Oh shit, look at this. We got Judge Samu. Aye, we ain't started yet, have we? Denise. Summoner Denise, at your service, miss. I see they just gave her a bra to wear underneath whatever the fuck this outfit is. I'm told we are to be your opponents for this exercise. It's an honor to meet you, miss. Everything is in readiness for the second challenge, mistress. These are the 3 neophyte summoners who will be assisting with your trial. I have heard elegant training can be rather remorseless. Do your best, but try not to injure them during the fray. Looks like we're all here. Let's get on with the briefing, shall we? As you command, the second challenge will evaluate the elegance of your technique as opposed to the magnitude of your miasma. First, I shall infuse the edgy of your opponents with secondary enchantments, and then you are to engage the entities in combat. Fred explained to me that the enchantments store the ether expended during the battle, and allow for an in-depth analysis of your flare for death flares, as it were. In any case, I expect you to pass with flying colors. Right, I suppose you should know who you're up against. Designation and rank. Summoner Crispin, Private, First Class. We're grateful for aught you can teach us, miss. Summoner Denise, Sergeant. I'm new to spellcasting, but I've seen my share of combat. Miss, Crispin and I are to fight you as a pair. Summoner Jajasamu, Lieutenant. You've more than a few Myers in our barracks, Miro, miss, but that don't mean we'll go easy on you. Enough chatter. Quick, march to the training ground. Give word to Crispin and Denise when you're ready to battle their edgy, Miro. After that, you'll be facing off against the Lieutenant's piece. You won't be attacking my troops directly, so give it all you've got. Saw Sass about to engage in battle. It's true. But before we do that, we have to bring our morphing airship here. Okay, here. Alright, Judge Osama, do you have anything new to say? I'll just be watching for now. You see, see how you handle a small fish before you get to the real fight. Our edgy are primed for battle, miss. We'll unleash them as soon as you've given Crispin the command. Prepare yourself, miss. Denise and I will now summon our servants to battle. Aye. A pair of Ifrit edgy for you. Hey, guys. Okay, well, I guess we're calling that in the battle. We never stood a chance, really, but I was holding out a tiny bit of hope. The victory was overwhelming, miss. Watching you wield the art is simply mesmerizing. An excellent performance so far, mistress. Pray, continue with the test. What? The enchantments were meant to strengthen the edgy somewhat. Well, that hardly seemed to matter to you. Outstanding! Speak with someone Jajasamu to continue the challenge. You finished warming up the members then? Because even together, me and me maid's edgy don't hold a candle to the inferno I can summon. Right, let's bring the flames. I'm not worried at all. There, you're free, edgy. Poor Doblin. Ah, I had hopes for that one, but you snuffed them out right quick. Not much of a trial, eh? Well then, you're lucky I fought another primal during me time with the Company of Heroes. Aye, you're not the only summoner as can summon more than one ethereal beastie. Say hello to your final opponent, Titan Edgy. Dude, I don't care about Titan Edgy. It's not gonna change things in your favor, bud. Oops, I don't need to cast the AoE spell. Oh, you stunned me, what a dick. And he did. I wish I'd been able to join the battle with my own self. Not that the outcome would have been any different, mind. That was a pleasure to watch, miss. I can hardly wait to return to our training. That Titan Edgy seems so solid, and you broke him into little pieces. Allow me some time to chew on the residue of your battles, Miro. Though, from the taste alone, I can predict a favorable flavor as a result. Former member of the Company of Heroes. I'm impressed. He has the makings of a talented summoner. I hope my summoners put up enough fight for you. Anyway, shall we hear what the book has to say? I have ruminated on the swirls and echoes of your battle, and the picture is clear. Your technique is without a doubt a thing of exquisite beauty. Consider the second challenge conquered. Well, that's good news, if hardly surprising. After all, you did sweep through those Edgy like a storm through a field of dandelions. Me thanks. You've opened up me eyes. I have some work to do before I've truly mastered this discipline. I'm glad to know we've been of service. Now, we really must be returning to Gridania. Thank you, miss. That was a truly enriching experience. I pray to train us again in the future. Vector, Vector, do you consider yourself to be a summoner? Or do you consider yourself to be someone who has shit their pants on the regular? No? You can't summon the feeks of the past? You used to be a summoner, but then you took an arrow to the knee? How did that prevent you from summoning? Is like the core of your ethereal energies kept within your knee? Vector summons his army of devoted fans. It's true. One last challenge remains. Pray, win through this trial, lest the higher knowledge I remain hoarded lost. Congratulations, Mira. With your impressive demonstrations of power and skill, you have already conquered 2 of Prin's 3 challenges. Ere we come to the final trial, however, Prin would further our education on Allegan summoning. First, I would ask what you know of the rise and fall of summoning in the Allegan Empire. I was made to cover rather a lot of history, you understand. From our research, we have learned that summoners were initially lauded as heroes for their success against the primals. When certain of these mages began to abuse the art's power for personal gain, however, the adoration of the populace shifted towards an oppressive hatred. Correct. We speak now of the latter half of the Third Astral Era. My creator, Master Sari, was one of those who expended his energies on the destruction of primals. Even as he fled from relentless persecution alongside his disciples, he triumphed over Belias and many other lesser entities. Belias? That was the name of the elder primal from which Tristan once drew power. Master Sari must have been mighty indeed to defeat such a foe. Yet he still knew fear. The thought that the grand discipline of summoning would fade into oblivion was more than Master Sari could bear, and so he sought to preserve the legacy. and provide for his successors. My creator was well versed in the aetherochemistry and held a particular interest in the technology of information. Broadly speaking, he researched methods of producing arcane geometries without grimoires and experimented with machine-enhanced edgy. He eventually abandoned both of these technologies, deeming them unsuitable for the instruction of future generations. Hoping to provide guidance to those summoners yet unborn, he instead began writing and enchanting a work that would survive down through the ages. He made me. Such an accomplished personage. Why, then, have I seen scant mention of his name in elegant histories? As you have said yourself, it was an age when the adulation of summoners experienced an extreme reversal. It is likely that Master Sari's achievements were struck from the records, even as his loyal pupils were struck down in the streets. I was shut in a storeroom, abandoned to my slumber, like some common treaties on trade agreements in the southern provinces, and thus I can tell you naught of what befell my creator in his later years. Wintrigue! Alright guys, it's bean time. Alright, well, look at this, we got liver and onions or cappuccino? Cappuccino. I expected to drive a recital on the history of summoning, but you've shared with us your personal narrative. It is clear you hold a great deal of respect for Master Sari. I am familiar. I simply relay information as I was enspelled. This lecture is now over. As you wish, Prin. Well, Miro, it would seem class is dismissed for the moment. I suggest you recuperate from the stage trial and look forward to preparing yourself for the final challenge. Yeah, Matt, this book here is named Principia. And she said that we could call her Prin or Pia. Pia. Indeed. Anyway. Yeah, so guys, we can't do any more of these quests. I don't think we get anything at 65. I think the next time we get something is actually at 70. But we're only 63 right now, so we cannot continue this quest at this time. But YouTube, thank you for viewing.